Hey my friends, there are two things that I wish I would have known about this pressure washer before I bought it. I'm gonna talk about those two things in just a second, but first I'm gonna pull you in closer and we're gonna take a look at the details of all the features of this pressure washer so you can determine whether it's right for you. So let's take a closer look. All right, so I've owned a couple of pressure washers. First thing that I really love about this one is the storage capacity. So first off, we have a place to keep the wand. This is really important because this thing gets loose and all over. It can get damaged if it's not put in a good proper place. Also the hose. You have a great little pocket here. I keep the manual in there. You have a great little pocket for the hose as well to put down in there. So all of your parts and pieces are together with the actual pressure washer. You don't have parts all over the place. You also have storage for your nozzles right here on the handle. This is pretty standard. I've never seen the bucket before, but I've definitely seen this feature. But you have the super tornado nozzle. I don't remember what they call it, but I call it the tornado nozzle, and a nice spot to hold that secure. And then you also have two nozzles here, which is a 15-degree nozzle right here, and then a soap nozzle right here. When you're using soap, you're gonna wanna use this one instead of the plastic nozzle. You also have a really nice extension cord management system on this thing. I'm gonna flip it around so you can see this. The cool thing about this is one of the coolest things about this pressure washer is the cord length. I actually don't know the whole length of this cord, but it's at least a 25-foot cord. What's cool about that is that you're not managing extension cords. Typically, I can typically find a plug near the spot that I'm using, so it gives me plenty of cord. You also have this little feature on the side of the handle, which is where you can just plug. It's not actual power, obviously, but to hold the plug is right here in the handle. So you can just put that and it holds it really nicely. You don't have pieces all over that's probably one of my favorite things about this thing is that you don't have pieces all over the place. Everything is managed and self-contained. So you also have the cord winder or de-winder. You have these arms that flex or that spin so that you can easily take the cord off and go plug it in instead of having to wind and unwind it. And these are really sturdy. I'm really happy with the plastic that they've used on this so that they are not gonna break. This holds a bit of weight with that cord and when you're winding and all that sort of stuff. So it's really been helpful in managing the cord system. Now, the whole thing comes disassembled. I did another video on how to actually put it together, but it's really simple. This handle is just a couple of pins right here on the inside that you can push, and the handle can come out if you want it to, if you need to pack it into a car, something like that. The wheels come off of the unit, but it's just a cotter pin. You just pop the wheels in there and put the cotter pin in, and that's really nice. Now, on the front side of this operationally, so we have the hose outlet right here. So I'm just gonna show you really quick. We take the hose. I saved the twisty ties and put them in the bucket when I'm not using them because it's really nice to keep this hose. You could buy another hose strap or something like that. Now, the sides of the ends of the hose are universal, and they have little pressure washers on the inside of those. That's the magic right there. Now, pro tip here. I've had other pressure washers where I've cross-threaded either the hose or the outlet, and it ruined it because it can't have the pressure. So when you put this on, you want to make sure it's very, very straight. And it should screw on very smoothly. If you're getting any resistance at all when you're screwing this on, you need to straighten out your hose and make sure you're not cross-threaded. It's because it should go very smooth and you should be able to get it really nice and tight and snug there. So then the other end of the hose goes to the handle right here. Same thing here. So you have the inlet of the handle right there. Same thing, pressure washer right there, and it should go on very smooth. Don't force it or you will ruin these parts. So you just want to make sure, and they have a tendency to go on crooked a little bit. And this is the thing with every pressure washer I've ever had. So just take really good care and it should go on very, very smoothly. You also have, the action in the trigger is nice. It's a full hand action rather than just a trigger. And you do have a safety feature right here too on the handle. Let me show you that closer. This is really cool. I've never seen this before, but it basically just folds out of the handle. You can fold it up. So if you're holding on to this, but you don't want to pressure, you don't want to spray anything yet, you can put that out and back in, and then the handle is free to go. Now, all of the nozzles are a quick release. So if we have our turbo tornado nozzle here, you just have a simple pressure loaded release right here. So you just pull that back, pop the nozzle in, and you're ready to go. That makes changing the nozzles out really, really easy. So I'm gonna set this aside for just a second. And remember, you've got these couple of different nozzles. You got your regular 15-degree nozzle, and then your soap nozzle. Now, speaking of soap, you have a little container right here. This container is where your soap goes in. So if you're using it to clean a car, when we clean our cars, we just dump actually some dish soap into this compartment right here, close it up. And what that's gonna do is it's gonna automatically dispense the soap into the hose. So now you're like a professional car wash or something like that, where the soap actually comes through the hose. So I can do a good, nice rinse on the car, then I can do the soap, I can scrub it with my car brush, and then I can make sure all the soap's out of it, and then run clean water through it, and we can rinse the car off. So that's really helpful as well. The other cool feature of this is a lot of these pressure washers have like on and off buttons back here in the back. But the problem is oftentimes when you're pressure washing, your hands are dirty or they're wet or whatever. This one has a step on and off right there. So all you have to do to turn it on, turn it off is just step on it. And I think that's a really, really cool feature of this pressure washer. Now, when you're gonna hook your fresh water up, basically take the end of your hose right here, and this is your inlet right here. And it comes with this nice spinning inlet, so that makes it really helpful. So you don't have to twist your hose in order to get it on. So you just put that on there. Again, don't force it, just keep it nice. It should spin on there really, really easily. And spin that until it's completely tightened up, and it will stiffen up against the unit right here. Right, so get that nice and tight so you don't have a ton of leakage there at this source either. I have a hose where I've got a nice little shut off right here, so that I can shut off water to the unit if I want to for any reason. Okay, so I've got the unit plugged in. I've got the water connected and the water on. Everything is tight and secure. There's no leaks anywhere. It does a really good job at containing all of that. So all I have to do to turn it on and get the pressure going. And now once I turn it on, I do need to wait 20 seconds to make sure that the pressure gets all built up and it's ready to go. You'll hear that, it wasn't even 20 seconds, it's like 3 seconds, but you hear that motor go. And then as soon as the motor stops, that means you're pressurized and you're ready to spray.